J-Nova Club licenses 10 new light novels, 1 new manga. J-Nova Club also announced 7 sole press license rescues. J-Nova Club announced during its panel at Anime Expo on Friday that he has licensed the Riri, Reincarnator Executioner, formerly the fallen daughter of the Duke, Yuritama from Third Wheel to Trifecta, Yashiru's Kun Guide to Going Solo, The Conquering from a Dying Kingdom, Backstab at the Buckwater Dungeon. My trusted companions tried to kill me, but thanks to the gift of an unlimited gacha, I got level 9999 friends, and I'm out for revenge on my former party members and the world. Death Daughter in the Ebony Blade. 7th. Dungeon Dive, aim for the deepest level, and Fullmetal Panic short stories like novels. J-Nova Club also licensed the manga adaptation of Kenichi's Isekai Tensei Recruited to Another World like novel. J-Nova Club also announced license rescues of the following titles formerly licensed by Soul Press: Nekomata Noko's Why Should I Detestable Demon Lord Fall in Love? Ayaka is redefining the meta of VR MMO Academy. Koka Kishine's Battle Divas, Shinobu Yuki's Strongest Gamer, Let's Play in Another World, Shin Kotoki's I Surrender My Sword for a New Life as a Mage, Sokigake's This Grieving Soul Retire, and Akatsuki's The GM Has Slugged into Another World. J-Nova Club describes writer Ryo Nakajima and illustrator Nokito's Riri Reincarnator Executioner. Deal Steel Link has always played heroes on stage, but he never wanted to be one. A veteran of the Holy Wars raged between the Tyrian Empire and the Titans. He finds himself flown into an all-even fiery conflict. The otherworldly reincarnators, winning supernatural skills, possess the bodies of the dead and brought carnage to the land of Redguard. 5 years later, Deal still seeks the body of his daughter, Iris, a victim of the reincarnators. Accompanying him are Nui Kurosaki, an orphan girl, with much more to her than meets the eye, and Saint Faron, the lone survivor of the Reincarnator massacre, whose own father became one of the enemy. As Deal and the children make their way back to the great city of Volcan, they must fight drunk ways of immortal Reincarnators and the mysterious conspiracy that surrounds them. Deal's objectives, however, would not change. He has only 2 goals: to get back his daughter's body and execute any Reincarnator who stands in his way. J-Nova Club has the first 2 parts of the first volume already available. J-Nova Club describes writer Ichibu Saki, illustrator Nemasoki, and character designer Oshio Shiratori's formerly the fallen daughter of the Duke. Claire Martino has a fairy tale life annual who envy, with a novel on bringing a crown prince from her fiancé, and a promising future ahead of her as Nostan's most powerful mage. That is, until everything crashes down around her, when all of her family magical talent goes to her half-sister, Charlotte. Instead, with her engagement broken and reputation tarnished, Claire flees the only life she's ever known and sets off on an adventure to find the freedom she's craved all along. It's anything but easy, but unfortunately for a girl with dignity, talent, and a whole lot of bravery, nothing is impossible if it's turning out to be a video game character. Much to her surprise, Claire finds herself periodically teleported to modern-day Tokyo, where Claire Martino is no more than a side character in the classic dating sim game upstart and turn love, yet even that won't stop Claire from saving the day so she can unlock the good ending on her own route. J-Nova Club, under its J-Nova Heart imprint, has released for the first 2 parts of the first volume. J-Nova Club describes Bancha Shibano's manga adaptation of author Kenichi and illustrator Nem's Isekai Tensei Recruited to Another World novel. After waking up to his own funeral, Tema Otori gets a second chance at life when a god from another world represents him with an enticing offer. If Tena agrees to be reincarnated in order to save their dying world, the gods will bestow cheat abilities upon him. Tama accepts and is reborn in a lush fantasy world filled with demi-humans, magic spells and items, monsters, mysterious forests, and more. As he grows, more of his gods given power and abilities, including his unique power to befriend adorable monsters like slimes and baby wolves, are revealed to his adopted parents, 2 former master adventurers, and his grandfather, a famous wizard. But one fateful day, 3 mysterious strangers shatter their tranquility at Tenma's village when trying to kidnap him, and that's where Tenma's adventure really begins. The first chapter in the manga is already available. J-Nova Club describes author Toshizu and illustrator Koro Shina's Yuritama from Third Wheel to Trifecta. Yuno Momose and Rinka Aiba were made for each other, and the whole school knows it. Between Yona's princess-like elegance and Rinka's prince-like charm, other classes sees them as the ideal couple. Yotsuba Hazama is no exception to that, but she is exceptional in another way. She somehow managed to become fast friends with both of them. Having the whole school's favorite ship as her 2 best friends isn't exactly easy. Joe not only does it makes everyone treat Yosoba like a particular obnoxious third wheel, it makes her feel like one too. Or at least does until one day, Yuna asks her out, and then Yuinka asks her out too. And Yosoba, whose social anxiety never seems to kick in after she's already messed something up. So she yes to both of them without sparing so much as a single thought for the consequences. Oops, now Yosoba only has one choice. Keep her accidental tone timing under wraps and make both of her new girlfriends as happy as she probably can. The first and second parts of the first boy are already available. J-Nova Cloud describes author Dojio Maru and illustrator Koi Kosaka's Yashiro-kun's Guide to Going Solo. Shigeaki Yashiro is proud to be a loner, doing his own thing without getting involved with tears. From studying alone in a karaoke room from relaxing by himself in open-air hot springs, Yashiro is an expert at finding the perks of doing things solo, but his solitary existence begins to unravel when Kana Hanemizawa, one of the popular girls at school, asks him to teach her his ways. She knows just how exhausting keeping up with all the latest trends can be, especially since she's afraid to talk about her own uncool hobbies. Yashiro becomes Hanemizawa's reluctant teacher, but soon finds himself tangled in the antics of his apprentice's popular friends. The first two parts of the first boy are available. J-Nova Cloud describes author Fujiwara and illustrator Tobi's The Conqueror for the Dying Kingdom. As a self-professed no-lifer, Yui idles his days away in front of a computer. This all changes the moment of his life in Japan, comes to an abrupt end, and he finds himself reborn in the strange new world of the Shielta Kingdom. His new life includes everything he once lacked: loving parents, a comfortable home, and the promising future breeding and raising birds in his dad's ranch. For centuries, the kingdom he now calls home has enjoyed peace and prosperity, shielded by friendly nations that, like Shielta itself, were established with the collapse of a once great empire. War is a distant problem, relevant only to Shielta's ruling families whose warriors periodically set out to join the fighting upon massive birds trained by Yuri's dad and others. But this peaceful existence can last forever. Something rotten lies at the heart of the kingdom. It does take someone with Yuri's exceptional intelligence to realize that those distant battles will only remain irrelevant for so long. The first two parts of the first boy are already available. J-Nova Cloud describes author Mikio Shisui and illustrator Tev's Backstab in a Backdoor War Dungeon. My trusted companions tried to kill me, but thanks to the gift on a limited gacha I got level 9999 friends, and I'm out for revenge on my former party members and the world. When Light is kicked out of the tribes, his former comrades instantly turn on him. Light escapes this by diabolical act of betrayal by the skin of his teeth, only to find himself in the deepest part of the abyss, the most dangerous dungeon in the realm. To avoid being eaten by carnivorous monsters, he uses the unlimited gacha, his sole magical skill, but where previously only produced junk items, this time Mei, a gorgeous level 9999 fighter in a maid outfit Springsport. Fast forward 3 years and Light has carved out in his own kingdom and his backwater dungeon. So many more beautiful level 9999 warriors who swear absolute fealty to him, and a powerful level 9999 overlord himself. Light plans to ascend to the surface and take revenge on his betrayers one by one. The first part of the first boy is already available. J-Nova Cloud describes author Maito Yamine and illustrator Sierra's Death's Daughter and the Ebony Blade. Olivia is just a baby, when the mysterious Z finds her at the temple in the depths of the forest of no return. From that day on, the temple becomes her home and Z her family. Z, a god of death, educates her in the ways of the world and combat and the long-forgotten arts of magic, right out until the day Z disappears. Olivia leaves the forest for the first time in search of Z, with his ebony blade in hand. Out in the wider world, all is not well. A bitter war rages between the Aspel empires and the kingdom of Furness, and Furness is losing badly. When Olivia shows up in Furness' doorsteps with a sack of imperial heads looking to volunteer, the royal army happily welcomes her into its ranks. Thanks to Z's training, she quickly proves herself as a ferocious warrior. In fact, she might be just whether Furness needs to turn the tide of the war, but whether they accept her lack of people skills that is required for this complete, it we should never ever see again. The first two parts of the first one are already available. J-Nova Cloud describes author Yomo Mishima and illustrator Tomozo's Seventh. In a world where swords and the magic where the goddess is revered, Leowald was fortunate enough to be born the first son and heir to an heirloom. That is, until his parents disowned him for losing pitifully in the fight with his younger sister Ceres. Lil has once been hailed as a prodigy. A wonder child by the birth of his sister changed everything. After Ceres wounds him in the duel, an enigmatic old man swooped in to rescue Yale and bestows upon him a necklace containing a jewel that has been blessed by the goddesses and passed down during the last 7 generations of world leaders. As Yale sets out, necklace in hand, will be able to prove himself despite his humiliating losses to his sister, and moreover, will be able to solve the mystery behind Sirius's monstrous strength and the strange way she seems to hold over his entire family. The first 2 parts of the first boy are already available. Genova Club describes author Teresa Warina and illustrator Saki Okai's dungeon dive, aimed for the deepest love level. After waking up to his own funeral, Tema Otori gets a second chance at life when a god from another world presents him with an enticing offer. If Tenma agrees to be reincarnated in order to save their dying world, the gods will bestow cheat abilities upon him. Tenma accepts, and is reborn in a lush fantasy world filled with demi-humans, magic spells and items, monstrous, mysterious forests, and more. As it grows, more of his gods-given powers and abilities, including his unique power to befriend adorable monsters like slimes and baby wolves, are revealed to be adoptive parents, two former master adventurers, and his grandfather, a famous wizard. The first 2 parts of the first boy are already available. The Genova Club describes Shoji Kato's Fullmetal Panic light novel series. Sakura Soseki is your average Japanese high school student. He gets love letters in his shoe cubby. He mistakes for bombs. He helps out the student council by interrogating suspected vandals. He even models for art class by engaging in guerrilla combat. The presence of the war-waddled military geek drives Chidori Kanami crazy, but she can't deny that it makes life exciting. Even after the booby traps their beach supplies and agrees to date another girl, marry the game-filled experiences, of course. You just can't leave this alone. The first 2 parts of the first boy and Full Metal Panic short stories are already available.